Hey everyone, it's Sarah and I have a Stash Dive Saturday video for you here. So I'm using my stash to make this layout. So I'm doing a Georgia layout today and I have this picture of Kaylin who is in a Georgia Bulldogs cheerleader outfit that my parents got for her. So when I was trying to decide what to use for this layout, when I do Georgia layouts, which I do a few, I'm trying to make them look different. Like I need to use the same colors. I definitely always use team colors, the black and the red and the white and gray and stuff. But I don't want them all to look exactly the same, so I try not to use the same papers all the time. So I really just try to go through my stash and try to find, different types of reds and, blacks and whites and all that. So for this one, I used a couple of paper pads. They are both from crepe paper. The black and white stripe that I have in the background there, that's from the DIY shop paper pack. And then the red one is from another paper pack. There's no title on it, so I don't know. I think it's just a crepe paper, just a collection of their papers. So I used those two. And then for my scraps here, I went into my scrap file folder that I have, and I just pulled out a few reds. And the large one that I have down there that is right behind Kaylin, I have two different ones that are like a grid pattern, and those are both from Studio Calico stamps, like the packaging for stamps. They just have this really great grid pattern on it that Studio Calico did for quite a while. And I kept those because I just really liked them. I ended up putting my stamps in different packaging, so I still had that left over. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to use these somehow. So I did. So for the bigger one that's just black and white, I had to cut off the Studio Calico branding because it was still on there. But once you cut that off, you have a nice grid pattern. So it worked out nicely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use my black StazOn ink, and I'm going to ink up around the edges of all of my papers here. I'm going to cut some of this out because my StazOn is starting to dry out a bit, so it takes me a while actually to get some good ink coverage on my papers. I need to pick some up at Hobby Lobby next time I go. But I like to use StazOn when I do this because it dries really quickly and it stands out really nicely. So that's kind of my go-to when I'm doing that. So I have them all done now, and I'm gonna start building my foundation here. I really like that pattern on the red. It's almost like a diagonal banner type, and it goes nicely with the other ones. So all of these are scraps, and like I said, the two grid ones are from Studio Calico stamp packages, and then I have that little notebook paper, just a strip, and then I have the tag there. That came out of the crepe paper pad where the red paper came from as well. It came from the same pack. They had a couple of pages of little tag papers, so I just cut out a red one. It also had red and blue stripes on it, so I'm just covering up the stripes because I don't want blue to be in there. So there you can see that was the back of the stamp packaging. And I went ahead and cut this polka dot in half because I wanted it to go above and below the picture as well. So I'm just kind of making it look like it's a little bit longer than it is. And then I'll cover up that gap with the other grid paper here. And my ATG ran out, so I had to replace it. And then I'm gonna get this down. That's where I'm gonna do my journaling. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the tag down here as well. And ironically, I'm just now noticing I was wearing a Georgia shirt while I was scrapbooking this page. I just saw the front of my shirt and it says Georgia on it. So, yep, welcome to our family. Okay, I'm using some gray and white twine, and I just put that around the tag just to add a little bit there. And I have these two flare badges. These are from an Etsy shop, which is Toni from. I do not know if her Etsy shop is open anymore. I know she was taking a break for a while. I'm going to double check, and if it is, I will leave a link if her shop is open again. If not, if there's no link, then that means it's not open anymore. So I don't know, but I've gotten a few flare sets from her, and I got these Georgia ones custom done by her. So I grabbed a couple of them. One says Georgia, and then the black one has a bulldog on it. So now I'm using these stickers. These are called shoebox. They are very, very old. They do not stick very well at all, so that's why I'm using my adhesive to do that. So recently I went through all of my thickers and I kind of pulled out some that were getting low in the package, you know, like if more than half of them were used. I pulled them out and I have them sitting next to my desk so that I can kind of reach for them first before I go anywhere else, so I can try to get through some thickers here. And then as I was doing this one, as you can see the package on the side there, I kind of took the back part of the package where it has, you know, usually it has like A through M or A through Z, or sorry, A through M or something on the front, and then on the back it has the rest of the alphabet plus numbers. So I kind of took the back part off and then just kind of consolidated them all on one sheet so I didn't have to flip them back and forth every time I was trying to find something. So I have a lot of thicker packages that look like that now so that everything is on the front. I hope that makes sense. But as I was doing this one, I realized I had all the letters for Go Georgia on here, and I knew that was going to be my title for this page. So I went ahead and spelled it out while I was consolidating the letters there. And I did not have an E, but I just made an F with a little dash to make an E. So you can definitely tell, but it doesn't really bother me. So, and now I am putting some Studio Calico enamel dots on here in black and gray. I also use a couple little asterisks from the thickers package. And then I have this little transparency, and it's red. It does say transparency on the bottom, but I'm going to put that underneath the picture so you can't see it. And I struggle a little bit to get it under here because I didn't realize I had that until after everything was down. But I get it. I win. I just like the little added detail it adds there, even though I had to fight with it a little bit. And I believe I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling now. I am going to cut some of this out because it takes me a little bit of time to do the journaling. Plus, I was watching a show. I think I was watching Firefly while I was doing this layout. I've since finished that, but I was watching it and I was kind of getting into it. So, and now I have these Georgia stickers from a little scrapbooking kit from Sport Solutions. And I used a G, and then that one there says School Spirit since she has a cheerleading uniform on. And that's it. That completes my layout. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. And I will be back again real soon. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.